To this walkthrough of how to play the piece and compose the piece in real time, Magnetic Visions 60. You'll need to store the folder that you've downloaded or that you've received from me on your desktop, and there's still a slight quirk in this version anyway that you need this file MagViz 60 on your desktop. I'll try and fix that before I release it. This is the actual score that it's all based on. So, first things first, open the server. You need to select the resources folder from within your Magnetic Vision 60 folder. This is the only folder this will work with. You can then customize your client file. Now, because you're running this server on this PC, you want the IP from this PC. So you open it up in a text editor. I use Text Wrangler. Go to System Preferences, Network, and you'll see the IP for the interface you're using. Select that, copy it, paste it into this IP field here with the port number. Afterwards, just leave that as it is, but just paste that in there and save that. This might seem a bit tedious, but it is a much easier way to do it than having to select the server IP every single time a score reloads in a practice scenario, like a rehearsal scenario. So that file now, you can either send that to your clients, or what I like to do is open up a web server on my laptop. You can just use MAMP to do that if you're on a Mac. I believe there's a Windows equivalent of this. You go into Preferences. I'm going to serve this over Apache on port 8888. And the document root is going to be the resources folder as well, where I've got the client file, the one I want to serve as the website. I select that, I click OK, and I start the server. So now, if I open a new tab in my browser, which I don't have open yet, if I go to Chrome, this is, by the way, this works best on Chrome, and I actually go to the IP that I just copied with the port number and the file name afterwards. So it's called client HTML, I think. There it is. Very easy. Now, if you can't remember the name of the file, you can just hit 8888, and it'll actually take you to the folder, which is great. And then you can go down and select the client, and the same thing. It's going to connect to the server. You're going to get feedback in the server that the player has joined, and when they leave, it'll also give you that feedback. So refreshing the page is also considered leaving the server. And if they select a part by clicking part 1 here, we have to make sure they're connected. Yep. Then if there is a part available, it will send it through. Now at the moment, since we've only just opened up the Max file, there are no parts available. So let's create them. So we'll have to turn on the audio and analyze some sound and send it to one of these ensembles. Now when you start, ensemble 1 should be selected, but if it isn't, you can just click it here. You can open the window once you've selected that ensemble. That should be blank. It'll load that score file that's on the desktop as soon as you start analyzing. So once you click this button, it's going to probably stall a little bit. Before you do that, just select that same folder that you did with the server. So it's just your resources folder again. Okay, so there's your Magnetic Visions 60 folder on the desktop, and you can just select this folder resources like you did before. Quarter-tone rounding will be on by default, but you can turn it on there as well. And these are your thresholds, low and high frequency thresholds. It's also set here, 20 Hz and 5000 Hz. That's the input frequencies. And this is how it gets mapped to velocity, but that only applies to playback. You'll have to click here to get load instruments as well if you want to do the playback. And here's your FFT window and step size. If you want to analyze maybe higher frequency stuff, you could use this, or lower frequency stuff, you could use this. Great, so let's open the window again. We'll bring that up here. Let's do the analysis. And as you can see, it's now automating the transposition of those notes. You can see that's going on in the Max window there. You need to wait like a full 12 seconds after you've finished analyzing. And it has now sent those scores, well, it's created the scores. That's when you see this red here. It has created the scores. So we can go look at the server. Because we were following yeah, we were following score 1 here. It seems like we've got an error for some reason, but so it's tried to send that to the client. So if I reload again, select part 1. Okay, because that was the first time, first analysis, it's created a slightly corrupt file. So I haven't quite fixed this bug yet, but if you just analyze a few times before you start doing the piece, that will fix that. So you can see that it's now produced a better file. But a good tip as well is you can zoom in and out on these scores if they're not the right size for you using Chrome, and also you can click this full screen button from the client. So now we've created the first 20 parts. So if we select the various parts, it will take us to them right up to 20. There we go. So press escape, comes out of full screen. Now, if we go back into the various ensembles, what we can do is select Ensemble 2, for example, open the window, and then same process again, just doing the analysis. Okay, you can see in the background here that I haven't finished analyzing, but it's loaded the UA score, it's called, sort of the original score. If you let go, then it's going to finish analyzing. So that all the stuff I was just saying has all been analyzed and has been summarized into this pitch material. You can also play these back just by clicking on play here. At the moment it's just reducing the scores for the remote clients. So we can also click here on, say, 22 or something like that. It's going to take us through to there. I'll just try not to make sure this isn't too loud. If I select the right audio device, then we'll hear some microtonal playback of that material, which is made possible by the... There we go. Okay. Okay, and by clicking stop, you can stop the playback. Great. I should say, okay, of course, you continue the same process with Ensemble 3. And here's the cursor automation. So that is a feature that is yet to come, but it currently does work. Here it goes. It's just not locked to the particular instances of the notes, so that's still something yet to come in the next few weeks. Last thing, make sure you install the MaxScore package and the ZSA objects, or this will not work. Okay, great. Well, thanks very much for listening, and if you have any problems, just get in touch with me via email. Cheers.